And we have, well, since everything's together, you can pretty much tell what's anterior, what's posterior. So going from the outside in, the one that says number 6 right here, that is the periosteum of the vertebra. And you're going to have some fat here, you're going to have some veins here. And then when you get to number 9, that would be the meningeal dura. Okay, it's the meningeal layer of the dura mater that comes down with the cord. The periosteal layer stays, well, would not go beyond the foramen magnum of the skull. Okay, so after that you have this brown outline here. That brown outline doesn't really exist. That again is the subdural space. All right, it's just a potential space. And after that you have the arachnoid mater. That's what this piece is supposed to be. That's arachnoid mater. Okay, so that would be number 11. Yeah, arachnoid mater. Okay, and that makes this the subarachnoid space. Okay, this is done in more or less the correct scale, so that's where the bulk of the CSF would be. Okay, and then number 28, yeah, number 28 or 26, that represents the pia mater. You enlarge the spinal cord to this size, you will see the pia. Okay, and now you also see something here that is number 16, and then you have in number 15 there. Number 15 is paired right and left, and number 16 one single in the back. Those are the denticulate ligaments. Denticulate ligaments. Okay. Those are the ones that are kind of like a mixture of the pia and the arachnoid mater, and they are responsible for keeping that spinal cord perfectly centered in the vertebral canal. Okay, so they will not be sloshing around, banging all over the place. Then you have your white matter. Okay, so these are the funiculi, posterior, lateral, anterior funiculi. Okay, and then you also have the gray matter. These are the gray horns, lateral horns, anterior horns, and this bar is the gray commissure. The black dot in the middle, central canal. When you do not have the bone and everything else to look at, if you have just something like this, you can still be able to tell what's anterior, what's posterior. The posterior horns go all the way to the edge. The anterior horns are somewhat far away from the edge. Same here. Okay, and then this one, they didn't do it right. So here, where 25 is, that would be the anterior median fissure. Anterior median fissure is a more substantial gap than the posterior median sulcus, where 29 is. Okay, posterior median sulcus is kind of like, yeah, that's closer to what it's supposed to be like there. Okay, so now you have this is the posterior root ganglion or dorsal root ganglion for your book. Okay, number 19. That swell. You have groupings of all those sensory neurons, the pseudo-unipolar ones, and this is where you have the cell bodies of those neurons. Okay, where there's still a single piece coming from that, it would be the posterior root, where 18 is that posterior root. Then it gets into these smaller units. Those should be the posterior rootlets. Okay, rootlets. Same thing with the anterior. These are the anterior rootlets or ventral rootlets in your book. And then number 17 would be the anterior or ventral root. Once you get past this point, this is right where you have the intervertebral foramen. Okay, and once you get past that point, it's a mixed nerve. All these things would come together. Whereas if you are here, you can see the distinct separation between sensory, motor. Okay, so sensory here, motor here. Sensory, motor. Sensory, motor. Right? So that's how you use these ones. I don't put this on the practicum.